what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'm excited for this one now. I forgot which fan said it, but whoever you are, comment down below, because you're awesome. But they coined it basically the Goon Cinematic Universe. That is, whenever I take videos and put them together and serve them in long-form fashion that have to do with a specific character or group. Right, and this was one of the later installments. I'll officially have that playlist ready. By the time you see this video, you can check out that playlist. Shout out to Comics Explained for really kind of setting the standard for these style of videos. But today's video and movie will be based on the goons that are Marvel humans. Marvel humans are some of the most savage beings in all of fiction. They beef with anybody. They don't respect anybody. And today you're going to see a bunch of different examples of Marvel humans being absolute alphas. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to subscribe. You can donate or purchase videos and hit me up on Discord to do that. It's only 20 or 25 video. So I cut prices in half and that'll be permanent. And then if you want to just hang out with the fans and talk to me, I'm in Discord every day. Hit up the server. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this. I got a couple more bangers coming today. Thor vs. Vegeta debunk, or I guess more likely discussion. I'm not really a debunk guy anymore. That'll be out today, as well as Virgil vs. Sephiroth on Coffee Shop. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Without further ado, grab your popcorn, settle on in, and let's begin. Alright everyone, it's time for the most necessary video in channel history, a celebration of the Yancey Street Gang from Marvel Comics via the Goon series. But real quick, I want to make a couple announcements. One, I'm going to be dropping a doubleheader for Thanksgiving, that being the Goon Bowl, which will be 100 of the funniest / greatest Goon moments ever in comics. And then I will be dropping Doctor Doom being the biggest goon, part 3, because you guys already hit the like goal for that. Now let's talk like goal for this video. To get another Goon series video in general, 400 likes. If you want to see the Yancey boys return for a part 2, 600 likes. That's all you gotta do. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting so far. I mean, my channel is growing so much ever since the Goon series. And by the way, Jobber series will be announced. I mean, not even announced. The actual first video will drop Friday. So I'm excited for that. But anyways, guys, I don't want to waste too much time. Let's get into some of the greatest Yancey Street Gang moments ever. So first of all, we got to talk about the time they trolled Ben Grimm. He almost did life. So let me explain. They see Ben Grimm walking down the street. They're trolling him. They see him as an op. Why? Because Ben left the hood. Ben left Yancey Street and he like lives with the privilege now. No one fucks with that. So he betrayed the gang. So every time they see him, they troll him. So they're on top of a building. They started throwing shit at Ben, right? Ben was pissed. Turns around, picks up a tank. A literal tank. And was about to throw it at the children and the building. This would have destroyed the building, not only probably killed the kids, or potentially killed the kids, but cost millions in property damage. Yeah, Ben would have done life, because he had no reason to do that. They were just like throwing like food and shit at him. I don't think it was anything crazy. So yeah, but the fact they almost got Ben to risk it all, he got stopped by the Fantastic Four symbol. It's hilarious. Next, the time they had to save the Fantastic Four from Molecule Man. Now, I know what you're thinking. How did they match up with Molecule Man? First of all, you should be saying that the other way around. How did he survive encountering them? Answer, they didn't actually do anything to him. What happened was the Molecule Man showed up, was rampaging, and was folding the Fantastic Four. Well, the Yancey Street Gang sees that, and they're like, yo, Ben Grimm is getting the shit kicked out of him. There's only one group of people that gets to beat the shit out of Ben Grimm, and it's us. So they went and rescued them. And they actually pulled off rescuing the Fantastic Four from Molecule Man and giving them a chance to recover and defeat him. It was pretty funny. Next, we had the time that we learned how deep the beef goes on Yancey Street. You see, it's so extreme that this building was collapsing and Thing caught it because this little kid, he couldn't have been more than 8 or 9, was stuck under it. And he caught it and he was like, "Hey kid, are you good?" And the kid's like, "Good? No, this is shit." And Ben Grimm's like, "What are you talking about?" And then suddenly the kid kicks Ben. And he's like, "Bro, if I was big enough, I would beat your ass, Thing. Because you know, if I get seen in these streets with your bitch ass, everyone's going to think I'm a narc." And Ben was pissed. He was like, "Yo, I wish you were older so I could beat your ass." But the kid runs off and you're like, damn, like, you definitely can't show love to Ben Grimm in the hood. Next, this is one of the worst got caught lacking moments ever. And it also low-key revealed that Mr. Fantastic was a racist and classist and just uppity as fuck. So let me tell you what happened, right? First of all, you already know the vibes. If you come on Yancey Street, you're getting pulled up on. That's facts. Not only did Ben pull up, Ben had the audacity to bring his rich-ass friends. So when they showed up with all their privilege, they got mauled by the Yancey gang. I'm talking about literally all of them got fucking dropped off. Just taken to school and dropped off by every member of the Yancey gang. And when they're running away, Reed says some wild shit like, "Yo, let's get out of here. The natives are restless." He said, "What about natives?" He called who natives? F in the chat for Mr. Fantastic. Do we cancel him? Let me know. Worse than Doom? Question mark? I don't know. But moving on, you kind of learn the system that the Yancey gang goes by. And this comes in the form of they pull up with slingshots on Ben Grimm when he pulls up to the hood. Because what's he doing pulling up to the hood? You're not one of us anymore, bitch. And they're hitting him and shit. And he doesn't do anything. He doesn't react. They're like, "Yo, we need to fix Ben Grimm right now." Why do they say that? Because it's simple. Whether he's gang or not, Ben represents the street. And since he does, if he's out here looking soft, he makes them look soft. So they literally say like, "Yo, we will do what it takes to make sure he's not sad anymore so that we don't look like bitches." And that's real. Now, this moment's actually never been discussed on my channel because I found it today. So, oh man, I'm super excited. So this was actually a direct team up with Thing in the Yancey Street game. What happened was he gets, like, Ben Grimm gets taken out by this mercenary group and this metal manipulator guy or whatever, some tech guy. And when this happens, I believe at that point, Yancey Street Gang had been taken hostage to like get at Ben. And that's a mistake. Of course they break out. And when they break out, they let everyone know the vibes. Like I'm telling you, they beat the dog shit out of people when they broke out. Like it was terrible. And the funny part was they were unarmed. Like they end up picking up sticks and stuff when they run by shit. But they were just fighting off pure spirit and street shit. Like and they're facing a literal mercenary hit squad, and they were going toe to toe. And then when they had broken out to save Ben and stuff, they clash with this entire mob group for the rematch, right? Because the first time when Ben got taken out from outside help, it kind of helped take down the gang. And they had that funny exchange, by the way, where they're like, "Bro, like, this is what we get for thinking Ben Grimm was gonna, like, save us." Like, Ben Grimm's dog shit. They always take time to slander Ben. It's hilarious. But anyways, so they run up on these mobsters and win. Literally beat them, and they take out the main villain. And then at the end, on some real street shit, they got Ben Grimm to hit the blunt. I'm not even making this up. You can look at the scan. Haters will say that's a cigar, But knowing how my boys on Yancey Street get down, that shit's a blunt. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree. Moving on, we have the time that Ben got vibe checked in front of his bitch. All right, let me tell you what happened. So Ben was taking his girl on a date. He's walking down Yancey Street. This is an L for my boy Thing. Y'all know I'm a huge Thing fan, but this was an L. Why would you take your girl to Yancey Street? That's crazy. I would never do that shit. But anyways, they're walking down the street. A couple Yancey boys see them, and they're like, yo, it's time to hit that bitch. And they get like a brick. And they're like, yo, they start placing bets on where they hit Ben Grimm. Of course they hit him. And Ben Grimm's forced to tell his girl, like, yo, real shit, it's impossible to not get, like, trolled by the Yancey gang, because as soon as you turn away, they pop up. Real shit. So there's no point in even fighting back. Like, they're gonna get us. And I was like, damn, bro. Not in front of your chick. Like, but hey, with the kind of energy Yancey gang gives off, I'm not shocked it happened. Anyways, moving on. We gotta talk about the time they confronted Ben Grimm for set tripping. This shit was hilarious. So essentially what happens is Ben comes back to the hood, right? And when he comes back in the hood, he kind of gives off this like OG attitude. Like, yo, I'm from the block too. Like, I've been here. Like, I don't have to listen to y'all. Y'all listen to me type shit. And the boys did not like that. And mad respect to them for this, because he hasn't been in the hood in a while. He hasn't been trapping like them in years. So it's not right for him to step like that. So this little redhead Yancey guy is like, he's not hearing that shit. He's like, yo, Ben, shut your dumb mouth. He was like, you're not from the block anymore. Take your bitch ass back to the Baxter building where everything's nice and cozy with your billionaire ass. Like, shut up. Like, no one in the hood respects you. You're a bitch. And at first, like, Ben's looking at him. He's like, yo, I'm an OG of Yancey Street. You ain't got to talk like that. And, bro, this boy looks at him and goes, you save that superhero bullshit chant for someone else? No one respects a traitor on Yancey Street. And it's crazy because Ben looked like he was about to punch him in this shit. But then it turns over to the kid, and the kid looks like he's about to punch Ben in his shit. So it was like, damn, like, this was one of the funniest vibe checks, because this kid was not capping. Like, he was so serious. He was like, yo, you're dead ass a traitor to the hood. Next, we got to talk about the time they actually cured Ben Grimm of depression. Now, how did they do that? They literally did it by trolling the shit out of him. Ben's walking around, you know, he's in his feelings. The Fantastic Four has been getting like shitty press coverage, and it bothers him. And he doesn't feel like anyone's really there for him. He's wrong. The Yancey gang's there for him to mess his day up. So they show up and they dump a bunch of shit on him, right? They're like, yo, he's depressed. Let's get him out of it. Dump a bunch of shit on him. Ben snaps. He's like, dude, fuck this. Picks up a trash can, rolls it in a ball, and sees the forms of the Yancey Street kids in an alley. Throws that shit. Tries to kill them. Not even trolling. That shit would have killed them if it hit them. It's a big-ass New York City dumpster. Like, that dog, that's not a bruise. That's death. But it was dummies they had set up for him to hit. It wasn't actually them. And they're like, yo, look, we got his bitch-ass stepping again. He's not a bitch anymore. So they're literally the best to keep around, because they're going to make sure Ben Grimm's always on demon time. Because if he's not, they're going to get his ass. Next, this is the final moment to talk about. And you guys have to smash the like button, because this moment is a long one, because it's literally a saga. So one of the funniest comics I've ever read. This is the Miracle on Yancey Street saga. So if you didn't know, there was like a death on Yancey Street, right? Or a kid that ended up dying in the hospital, something like that. There's also a kid that gets taken. And this one kid is walking down the street. Ben Grimm's following him, because this guy came to Ben Grimm and told him, he's like, bro, please bring my son home. And he's like, okay, bet. Ben goes back to the hood. He's going to find out where the kid is on Yancey Street. So this little Yancey kid's walking. He's like, yo, is that a fucking narc? Like, dog, is that a narc? And so Ben's following him. And he's like, yo, I'm not getting caught. And someone hits Ben with a snowball. Ben goes down the alley, falls, gets embarrassed, gets up. Instantly, he sees he's surrounded by the Yancey street gang, and they're like, yo, Ben, you got some nerve stepping in the hood. Ben, of course, is like, yo, I'm here because I'm trying to find out why a kid from Yancey is missing. And they're like, oh shit, someone's messing with the gang? Say word. And so, at this point, when they find out that ops are on the block hurting their members, shit gets real. Like, when I tell you this is the most hype shit, like, everyone put your Gucci mink coat on, your metaphysical Gucci mink. You know, it's not real. We don't have them. But pretend to put that shit on for this Gucci mink moment, right? They're like, yo, no one fucks with Yancey Street. We're on their ass. They all start dipping to go beat the shit out of whoever's doing this, right? It doesn't matter who. They don't need to know who. It's an op. They're riding regardless. And Ben Grimm's like, yo, slow down. Like, I'm the hero. I'll go. And they're like, bro, this is Yancey business, dog. This ain't superhero shit. This is street shit. We don't care about your little Justice Avengers shit you want to do. Your whole fucking arrest them. No, we're here to kill shit and get our shit back in blood. So you can come with us or you can get left. And they did. Like, they are so serious. These boys are pissed. And this is when they run up on a bunch of goons in a warehouse, right? It looks like a Fantastic Four lab. Bunch of stolen equipment. Obviously, there's some big scheme going on. They see ops. They start swinging. This op hits Grimm in the face, right? Hits Thing. And that's when we realize it's a Doombot. And Ben Grimm rocks his shit. And all the kids jump on Doombots. And they literally start killing fucking Doombots. That's crazy. These are little ass street kids tearing apart Doombots because they disrespected the set. Hit the like button, bro. If you haven't already, smash that shit. Because the Yancey Street Gang is the most gangster shit of all time. So they're beating the shit out of all these Doombots, right? And at this point, Ben Grimm's looking around. He's like, oh shit, bro. We're fighting Doombots. Like, are the kids okay? Turns around. The ops are dead. He didn't have to worry about anything. They literally tore their heads off. And that's when Ben Grimm gets shot from behind. You look up to see Dr. Doom himself. Now, at this point, it's reasonable of Ben Grimm to look back, and he tells the kids, hey, this is the big dog. Matter of fact, he's in the Goon series. Go check it out. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. And he's like, kids, dip, bro. This is the boss fight. This kid looks at him. Oh my god, this moment is so gangster. Looks at Ben Grimm, looks at his homies, and says, our colors don't run. And that's when all hell breaks loose, right? Like, the fight resumes. They're not getting run off the block. This is street shit. They're not getting run off the block. Ben Grimm's trying to fight Dr. Doom. At this point, y'all's favorite goon, Dr. Doom, pulls the strap out and is like, fuck you, fuck Yancey Street, fuck these kids. Starts blasting, right? He's shooting, and it's starting to get the better of Ben Grimm, because Ben Grimm's like, oh shit, he's got the blicky. And, of course, it's not a regular gun. I don't remember what he put in it, but the goons see this, right? They're like, yo, he might not be gang, per se, but you're not going to do another Yancey kid like that. Because in the end of the day, Ben Grimm's from Yancey Street, bitch. And they start throwing shit at Doom, and Doom's like, oh shit, like, these kids are actually trying to fuck with me. And Doom, being a goon, turns around and starts shooting at them and whatnot. So they scramble out the way, gives Ben a chance to fight Doom again. Doom gets the drop on Ben Grimm because Doom's a goon. And Doom doesn't know this, but they were actually about to jump his bitch ass. Like, there was 3 of them up top, and they're like, yo, it's time for us to jump on him. So ultimately, they don't jump Doom. By the way, Doom would have died. I don't care. Don't at me. They don't jump him because the shit was weird. They went down to Ben Grimm. They're like, yo, why did Doom dip? And he's like, I don't know, but Doom doesn't leave evidence. And it's facts. Doom rigged the entire place to blow up and kill the kids and Ben Grimm. Of course, they escape because they're on that G shit, right? And when they get back to the hood, this godliest ending to a story. They're with Ben Grimm. They return the kid. Kid survived, right? And Ben's right. You know what? We might have lost someone, but y'all helped me get someone back. You helped me make sure that didn't happen again. You guys are good kids. And they're like, you know what, Ben? You're a solid guy. Even though you left and got rich and hang out with them uppity fucks, like, you're pretty dope. And he's like, man, y'all some good kids. I know we beefed for years, but y'all are really some good kids. And you see them leaving, and it shows Ben Grimm's back, and it says, Santa's little helper, kick me, I'm stupid. They literally, someone had died, someone had gotten kidnapped, all this shit, and they still trolled Ben Grimm. And you see them go like, yo, I can't believe he fell for that shit. It's Yancey for life. Fuck him. Oh my god. But anyways, guys, that's it for the Yancey Street Gang Goon Series Chronicles Part 1. If you guys want Part 2, smash the like button. Let's get it up to 600 likes. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, YFV, and I'll see y'all later. Peace. Alright, real quick, before we get started, on my second channel where a majority of my power scaling versus videos will now go, once the New Year starts coming around, and especially now I'm getting videos out every day there, I just dropped the Star Wars Inverse matchup. It was super dope. Qui-Gon Jinn versus Savage Opress. Definitely go check it out. It was a banger for sure, but today is a Goon video that we're charging to the game. This is strictly for the culture. We are bringing Frank Castle, the Punisher, to the Goon series. This is a bunch of moments that are hilarious from Punisher and just savage moments where he's smoking his ops. So if you like content like this, if you love the Goon series, the Jobber series, and all the other content I make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can continue to grow as a channel. But getting back to this, I'm going to start off. I hope you guys enjoy, and without further ado, let's begin. So, first Goon moment we're going to talk about for Punisher is when, by the way, there's obviously going to be a part 2. Try to get it to 750 likes, but because that would be amazing, but I'm making a part 2, to be honest. Too many moments. Anyways, this is the time he put the Russian on a t-shirt. If you don't know who the Russian is, he is a massive ass mafia hitman and goon for them. Pulls up on Punisher, right? Rocks him. They start brawling. In a random pop-up fight, the bigger man, who's skilled as well, is usually favored, right? So he starts winning the exchange. In fact, his ops, Punisher's ops, thought he was dead when the Russian pulled up. But we see later, Punisher comes back. He is fucked up, but he's holding the skull of the Russian. And he said, bitch, this is who you sent? This is your big dog? Send someone better. And it's just one of the infinite moments where Punisher has to vibe check the opposition. Next, the time Punisher, I do believe this was from the Garth Ennis run. If you don't know, Garth Ennis is pretty much considered the GOAT rider of Punisher. And this is the time he had to pull up on a polar bear. So this is from when Punisher was chasing someone down, and he sees someone is in the pit, right? Punisher hops down. Punisher sees the polar bear. He's like, oh, polar bears, they're cute, they're fluffy, they're animals that, you know, people tend to love and, you know, idolize. And he's like, damn that right hook, bitch. throws a massive hook and stuns the shit out of the polar bear. The polar bear is like, what the hell's going on? And Frank just dips. He's like, yeah, you're not doing me dirty, bitch. Take this furball, and just rocks his ass. Next, the time he bamboozled and put Daredevil in a horrible position. So, Daredevil, who's no bitch himself, like, he's got hands for sure, pulls up on Punisher, right? And Punisher's like, yo, real talk, I'm sick of you pulling up and trying to ruin my day because I'm getting a bucket. And he starts scrapping with Daredevil. During the fight, of course, Punisher was ready for this, gets the drop on Daredevil. And Daredevil comes around to see he's tied up with a gun. And Punisher's like, yo, bitch, there's one bullet in that gun. If you really want me to stop me as bad as you say you want to stop me from fading my ops, shoot me. If you won't, shut up, because you're not about it. And dips. Just thugs Daredevil, and you'll see he has a bunch of interactions with Spider-Man and Daredevil that gets on this list, but he is quite brutal when it comes to Daredevil. Next, this time we find out Punisher's low-key Hawkeye with it. So, he's in the trenches, right? And if you don't know this, this is kinda can be expected, but he's most famous for getting his stripes in Vietnam and in the jungles. So, he's in the jungles for this story. And people start dropping from arrows to the eye. And immediately you're thinking, oh, Bullseye's out here or Hawkeye's out here. Someone that would do shit like that. Nope. That boy Frank picked up the bow and was Hawkeye with the shot. He was Curry from deep. It was horrible. You see people getting sniped and headshotted everywhere. And we found out he really is nasty when it comes to the trick shots with the bow. Next moment occurs because, of course, sometimes with Frank, good guys try to press him because he does hood rat shit. It is what it is. Frank's one of the only ones that actually handles his ops. And as a result, some superheroes take that a certain way. And we've seen plenty of instances where he's had to scrap superheroes. One of these instances includes when he got in a scrap with Iron Fist, had to punch him off him, and then Hawkeye blasted him. Now, the funny part about this is when Hawkeye pops Punisher and electrocutes him with his trick arrow, he literally goes, yo. That shit's designed to one-tap elephants. What the hell is your problem? And Punisher's like, kiss my ass, and just starts trying to blitz him. Like, the toughness of Punisher has left us some hilarious moments because a lot of characters don't know how to deal with him because he's not a normal human. The bro doesn't stop. So just getting him to stop is out of the question. Next is another hilarious moment with Iron Fist during one fight, right? Punisher gets hit by the Iron Fist. If you guys don't know, it's a chi punch. Really fucking hurts. Like, he's punched gods with it and shit, right? Rocks Punisher, you know what? Punisher's like, you know what, bitch? You want to square up like that? Pulls a big-ass knife out. This is funny because pulling a knife on Iron Fist is hilarious given what's in his hands, right? Like, he has such better weapons than a knife, and he's like, yo, you're pulling a knife on me? And Punisher's like, are you still pulling those magic hands, bitch? And they just start scrapping. Just the fact he was pressing him with a knife because he was sick of Iron Fist being sneaky with the chi punches was comedy. Next, the time B-list Avengers hella guessed it. So, as you guys know, Punisher doesn't really fuck with B-listers, right? Like, you gotta be an A-lister, if not S tier, to even pull up on him and try to fuck with him. If not, he's just gonna prep time your dumb ass. Well, he gets pulled up on by basically alternate Avengers, right? These aren't the normal Avengers. And they're like, Punisher, we're gonna bring you in. He's like, don't be dumb. Gets into a scrap with this, with the future team, right? And he takes hits from like an alternate Thor. He's going back and forth with Cap. All this. He's lighting them up. He's throwing bombs. He's doing wild shit. Lights up She-Hulk. All this. They end up going, yo, I'm going to be real. We weren't prepared for what this boy's got and what he's willing to do. And they had to let Punisher run off because he was too dangerous. Because he was just throwing wild shit at them and they didn't know what to do. So yeah, if you're not the real Avengers, kiss his ass. Don't pull up on Punisher. Next, he gets into another fight with Daredevil in which he has to humble the blind lawyer. So Daredevil pulls up again, right? And Punisher's like, bro, this man's always trying to save a hoe. Like, he's Captain Save a Bitch. Punisher's not with that. He's like, look, bro, I'm fading ops. I'm going to handle them just like I got to handle you now. And starts going back and forth with Daredevil and pops him. Daredevil's like, yo, this boy's low-key too quick. I can't do shit about it. Punisher gets the drop on him, pops him, and hits him with a tranquilizer. And the other dude's like, oh shit, what's going on? And he's like, yo, I just blitzed Daredevil, bitch, and you're about to get the same work. And Daredevil's just confused because he's like, bro, I think I just got mauled. And yeah, you did, dummy. Don't pull up on Punisher. Next. Alright, so if you guys go peep the Kingpin video, go peep Goon, Jobber videos, all that. I've mentioned the time Kingpin got his cheeks taken in the shower, right? Happens. It is what it is, you know. He got all the families back, literally folded them all, but still, cheeks taken, happens. Well, Punisher's in Rikers, right? Messed up a dude named Injun Joe, really bodied him. Punisher's in the showers, you know. He's naked, ass out, all that. These dudes pull up on him. They have hella weapons. They're like, yo, what's up, tall guy? And I was like, this is already mad sus. And he's like, yo, are you with Injun Joe? And they were like, yeah, we're his homies. We're here to fuck you up. And Punisher's like, bet, bitch. Bro, butt-ass naked. Smokes all their packs. Just bodies them all. It was horrible. Dude literally just had a towel. They all had weapons. He's naked. Proceeds to fold them when they had the drop on him when he was butt-ass naked in the showers. Absolutely horrifying what Punisher does to his ops and the levels he takes when it comes to embarrassing them. Next, the time that he bodied Cap. I don't care what anybody says, this was a bad look for Cap. The reason I say this is because of how athletic Cap is, all the W's he has, especially classic Captain America was out here doing wild shit. Well, he runs into Punisher, and Punisher and him already have a complicated history and past and working relationship because Punisher respects Captain because he's a symbol for America and their military. And as we know, Punisher's a soldier first. Like, it is what it is. He served first. That's what it was. Cap sees him as a psycho. So it's a weird dynamic. Like, he does respect. Obviously, everyone respects Frank to a certain degree, but thinks he's crazy. Justified. I mean, the dude does kill, average a triple-double in kills every day, but regardless, doesn't trust him. So they get into a scrap, right? And not only does Punisher hold his own, he talks shit while he catches Cap's shield with his foot and plants it on the ground. And Cap's like, dude, not even 1 in 1,000 men could try some shit like that. And Punisher was like, look, bro, you're one of the GOATs. You're the big dog. You're Cap. Everyone respects you, but fuck off, my guy. I have the GAT. I have my ops. I need to fade them. No reason for us to beef. I respect you. But if you pull up, you know, the work is the work. So relax. And just the fact he was vibe checking Cap so confidently was comedy. Alright, this next one is rough. And one of his most brutal on here for part 1. But you're going to have to hang with me. So, of course, Punisher has a lot of ops. Men, women, young, old. If you do the dirt, he's going to get dirty murking you, right? Now, the vibe check applied here was to a mob lady. Mob ladies in Punisher comics are some of the most horrifying women. They are in real life, too. But some of the most horrifying women because they're so vile, evil, and will do anything to you and have their people do anything to you under the guise of them being women, right? They're like, oh, no, we're sweet lady. No, they will murk you. Punisher walks up in this old-ass lady's party. Sorry for any noise in the background, by the way, dumbass dogs. But anyways, he rocks her shit, right? Pops her, walks in her birthday, and pops her. Then walks out and he's like, look, this whole room's finna be shook for a few seconds. Then they'll respond, and they'll want their shit back in blood. So he pops her, and he walks out, and he's counting to himself. Walks out, goes and grabs a big-ass M60. Turns around, and when everybody files out to run his fade, he lights them up like a damn Christmas tree. I'm talking butchers over 40 people at this old lady's birthday party because she had dirt on her hands. Don't fuck with Punisher, dog. He's gonna murk you no matter the gender or age. This man is an equal opportunist when it comes to the faith. Like, it's horrible. Next, the time... Well, okay, first of all, I don't know if Garth Ennis has personal beef with Wolverine, but he shits on him all the time when he writes Punisher, and it's comedy. But one of these was... they were hanging out, right? They were running a fade together, and Punisher's like, look, Wolverine, you're an idiot. You have, like, backwoods logic. You're holding the team down. This shit's gonna be way easier without you. And Wolverine's like, what? Punisher turns around and shoots him in the dick. That's right, shot his dick off and was like, look, bro, you have a healing factor. That shit will grow back, but the bag won't grow back, and you always fumble. I don't want to fumble the bag, so I'm going to go get it. You stay here. And left nut-shotted Wolverine in the fetal position. F in the chat for Wolverine's balls. Next, let's talk about how wild shit gets when Frank gets into fantasy medieval mode, alright? So, Frank at one point was going on this, like, Kratos God of War style rampage throughout the realms. And he was doing this, butchering and basically shitting on anyone related to, or like relating to Malekith and his movement. And at one point, Punisher's like, yo, when I'm going on this holy war, just butchering ops throughout the universe, throughout reality, all this shit, throughout different realms, I'm doing so because I don't want them ever thinking Earth is sweet. This shit is not sweet. They can't come to our planet because we'll run their shit. And he's like, yo, if the Avengers had done shit like this, just run up on people and rock their shit, no one would fuck with Earth. Earth would be safe because they would know how real we are. And that was his logic in this. And he would, dude, he would be so terrifying if he had a god position because he's smiting everybody. But yeah, he was just running around folding everybody related to Malekith in the beef. Next, we saw that when it comes to fight or flight, Punisher airs that shit out every time. No running. So, one of the funnier examples was when frost giants were pulling up. Now, for most humans, when beings from a different realm or dimension, sometimes even extra-dimensional beings, creatures of mythology and legend, like the mythic frost giants, pull up, you'd be in shock. You'd be like, yo, we need some superheroes. You know what Punisher said? Let me get my fucking strap. And just starts blasting away. This dude's like, yo, these are people that have pulled up on us before. This shit is not a game. I'm running everybody's fade. We see him running through portals, literally running fades against the Giants by himself because he doesn't take disrespect on his turf. Next, one of the most brutal W's from Punisher, and it was against, I believe, a Dark Elf. So he's fighting this Dark Elf. I already told you about his wild-ass God of War type rampage. And he's looking for answers. He's trying to find his ops. He beats the shit out of this Dark Elf so bad, he literally just mutilates and crushes his skull with straight-up headbutts with his war helmet on. And he's like, yo, give me answers, bitch. I'm like, yo, you turned his brains to juice, bitch. Like, he can't give you you fucked him up. He can't talk. Punisher's horrible about that. He really does jack people up. But yeah, this moment, him just headbutting a Dark Elf just into abyss was wild. Next, obviously, legendary moment. And you know, throughout my Punisher videos, I will be spreading out the legendary moments. I'm not going to put every iconic moment in the same video, but he has so many, so it's all good. But this one's legendary. This was when he pulled up on Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider had to learn that shit was not sweet. So, if you guys don't know, Ghost Rider has the Spirit of Vengeance. This is an angel or a redeeming spirit. Spirit of Vengeance sent by God, and it's used to judge, right? And the penance stare has even worked on high-tier God-type beings. And basically, everything wrong you've done, you're subjected to, the killings, murders, all these horrible sins on the soul, you're subjected to, and it's terrible, the effects, right? Punisher runs up on Ghost Rider. They start going back and forth. Punisher gets caught, and Ghost Rider tries to penance stare him. And Punisher's looking at him. Ghost Rider's like, why is it not working? And all you see Punisher say is, I regret nothing, bitch. Fuck my ops. And Ghost Rider was so shook, bro. That shit was crazy. Not only did he have Ghost Rider shook, he beat his ass. That's right. Punisher got the drop on him, got the W, folded him, and was like, yeah, bitch, I regret nothing. Not even God's going to make me feel sorry for my ops. One of the coldest moments we've ever seen in comics. Next, another one of those B-list moments I told you about. If you're a B-lister, if you're a knockoff, don't pull up on Punisher. That shit's disrespectful to the brand, okay? He deals with big dogs. I'm talking about when Falcon pulled up as Captain America, right? This is why this shit was such an L for Falcon. Falcon pulled up and started talking shit. He was like, yo, I'm Cap now, guess what? We don't like what you represent. You're such a hateful, horrible person. You're a murderer. You're a psychopath. I can't believe anyone calls you hero. I can't believe anyone respects you. And Punisher's like, good thing no one asked you, stupid bitch. Throws a grenade and rocks Falcon, puts him down, and he's like, bro, I could really fuck your life out, but I don't want to. But you need to relax talking shit about the brand because I'm the GOAT. So shut your mouth and dips. But yeah, B-list Captain America, a.k.a. Captain Falcon, couldn't do shit. Yeah, no. Disrespect to the OG Captain Falcon, but it was a bar I thought off the top of my head. Kiss my ass, alright? I was trying to rap. But anyways, getting back to the next moment. Like I said, Punisher, he's vibe checked gods, all this stuff before, but this was hilarious because he was getting a weapon to deal with someone else, supposedly, right? And this angel was talking greasy. He's like, yo, only creatures like the Ghost Rider, whose powers are tied to the divine, can be killed by something that comes from the beyond. You need a weapon from the beyond. Here's Mephisto's blade. That counts. And he's looking at, Punisher's looking at the angel, right? And the angel's like talking shit. He's like, oh, look at you, another human falling in line. And Punisher was like, no, actually, I was trying to see how this shit works on you. And the angel's like, what? Punisher proceeds to just chop him. Pulled up on him, ran his shit with the sword instantly. The fact he's just swinging on angels like that is wild as shit. Next, this is a funny one because you always hear the argument about, like, Spider-Man holds back, right? Spider-Man's never trying. Spider-Man doesn't use his real strength. Cool. I was under the impression that the fan base conceded Superior Spider-Man is the Spider-Man that doesn't hold back. Alright guys, my damn recording keeps getting interrupted. So much shit keeps popping up, but going back to Superior Spider-Man, he's supposed to be Wild Octavius-controlled Spider-Man, not holding back, right? He pulls up on Punisher. And he's like, yo, this is the last time you're gonna fuck with my shit. Punisher pieces his shit up. And he was like, yo, Spider-Man. Real shit. I heard about the massacre. I heard about all these problems you've been causing. I hear about all the wild shit you've been doing. It's cool you're trying to make a lifestyle change to be a savage. But just know I invented that shit. And my advice, cut it out. Because it's gonna lead to a definite L. So, stop that shit. Next, this is actually something I owned for years. Punisher's journal from when World War Hulk invaded, right? If you remember, World War Hulk was pissed about his planet situation when he got displaced and it blew up after he started over and shit. He was heated, came back, brought an army, was ready to wage war on the humans, right? Well, Punisher is fighting these aliens, right? And he's like, yo, I need an upgrade. Basically gets Venom Tech upgrade, runs around in the symbiote, starts beating the shit out of Hulk's army. I'm talking about dog walking his army, and just the L's he was handing out with the Venom suit was so badass, and it made sense that Punisher would be an absolute savage in that kind of outfit. So yeah, just him beating the shit out of Hulk's army and going on a one-man rampage was crazy. Now, final one we're going to end off with, because I realize this is a long video and I have so many moments, so I'm just probably going to drop part 2 in a few days. Again, hit the like button for that. His beef with Manucci. This got mad disrespectful. Manucci was one of those crime bosses for the Mafia. Bitch was crazy. She beefs with Frank, obviously, because of what he does. They go back and forth, and in this beef, He gets beat up, she gets fucked up, but she loses her limbs at one point. She loses arms and legs, right? She doesn't care. She's like, yo, I respect Manucci. She's a savage. She was like, I'm gonna fucking kill him no matter what. Throws herself out the window while she was burning, right? And was like, I'm gonna kill you, Frank, no matter what it takes. Like, fuck this, you gotta die. She crawls up. She crawls up to Punisher and starts biting him, talking shit. And he just punts the bitch. He punts the crippled bitch into the fire, and she burns. It was so rough. But the fact she was running up on him with no limbs, and he just punts her bitch ass for her troubles, hell of a way to end this video. If you can't tell by now, Punisher's a tier 4 goon. This man beasts with everybody. This man's bullying your favorite heroes, all with a Glock in hand. If you want part 2, run the likes up. I'll gladly drop that bitch within a few days. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I will see y'all later. Peace. Alright everybody, what's going on? It's YFV here, and exciting news, I'm back. We're going to be uploading a lot because the next few weeks I am on vacation, which means full on putting basically all my time and energy into YouTube stuff. So let's really get it going on the road to 10K. This is a fun video. Now, when I initially put out the teaser for this, right, it seemed to be a lot of people thought this would be a video targeting Spider-Man in a negative way. I don't know why. I know Kingpin is a Spider-Man op, but these two need each other for scaling, so it would be kind of dumb to slander. But that's not what it is. This is a celebration of Kingpin throughout the years, how goony he is, how strong he is. I'm going to review his best statements, best feats, best wank, and then, you know, a brief synopsis of some of the stuff he's done in his career and why I think personally, he's one of the most underrated street tier fighters ever, not just in Marvel. Real quick, if you guys like content like this, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss any of my videos, because sometimes YouTube doesn't love me. Anyways, I don't want to waste any more time because I'm super excited about this. Let's start the Kingpin party. Now, first let's talk about best statements. First statement, according to, you know, some of the highest powers in New York City, Kingpin's mix of money, brains, and physical prowess and skill makes him unstoppable in New York. At the time, they were considering Spider-Man while saying this. Kingpin stated underrated in power, which is why beating Spider-Man was easy. Now, their first fight, Kingpin wore him out. And this, I personally feel, can be attributed to Spider-Man underestimated Kingpin. He wasn't holding back. He literally said, like, dang, I just hit him as hard as I could. Nothing happened. But literally, he just wasn't anticipating this. The dude looks fat, right? Just some big looking fat ass to blitz him and put in work, right? So I would attribute that first one. It's fair to say that, right? So Spider-Man fans, you can say that, and it's pretty reasonable. But moving on, he is stated to be at least as strong as Spider-Man when they next fight, if not stronger, as he ragdolls Spider-Man by the ankle. Spider-Man also, while fighting Kingpin, states that in combat, both before the fight begins with prep or, you know, setting up the environment, to mid-combat manipulating what's going on, he admits Kingpin himself is a brilliant tactician in fights. Spider-Man actually says that he can't take many hits from Kingpin, and that he got super lucky that the strong punches thrown by Kingpin actually missed. He would have been a goner. And this is no slight, because you're going to see in the feats just who Kingpin's rocked over the years. According to Civil War II, an argument can be made that he scales above the elite criminal minds on Earth casually. When he got pulled up on by a team that included Falcon and Spectrum, he told them hoes to back up and get up out his face before it got real. And then he threatened to fold Falcon in his merry band of bitches. He said, look, dog, I'm Wilson Fisk. I don't care if you have Cap's shield in a new outfit, dog. You don't step to me, so get the fuck out my house, dog. And they left. They didn't really want smoke with him. He's crazy. Later on, in a fight against Punisher, Kingpin actually states he basically toys with Punisher, and he doesn't personally see Punisher as someone on his level as a combatant. Also, it stated in a file review during an investigation of a murder that Kingpin has killed many agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Again, later in Kingpin's solo run, it is admitted that he is an absolute genius as a criminal tactician. During an argument with a fellow criminal about how insane Kingpin really is, he notes that some of the greatest global conquerors were crazy. So it's not bad to be crazy. Questionable, because he's basically like, look, dog, Hitler might have been bad, but he got buckets. I don't like that argument. It's a little weird. But, Kingpin was like, look, I'm going to rock out regardless and get money. And he's not wrong. He gets money and he rocks out. Now, he does imply later, I think this is interesting, that he's developed basically a form of precog, which helps him in combat in situations that involve, sinister forces working against him. Kingpin is in contention for the most dangerous person Daredevil's ever beefed with. Daredevil and Spider-Man are also stated unable to impede him when he decides he's going to make a play. Like, there's no really stopping Kingpin when he decides to turn up. Apparently, according to an exchange he has between a reporter, he once folded Vulture for the memes, and it was hilarious. It's off panel, but I think it's funny that Vulture gets shit on by basically anyone associated with Spider-Man. Vulture takes a lot of L's in the Spider-Man Rogue Gallery. Kingpin is considered a valuable ally for Doctor Strange, who lost Daredevil already to Baron Mordo. This, of course, is when Baron Mordo was trying to take over New York and everything else, and the Sanctum was taken over and compromised. And at that point, Wilson Fisk has to pull up and help save everything. At this point, Doctor Strange and crew are not confident they'll win, but while in his personalized golf cart getting them away from the scene, Kingpin's like, yo, dog, relax. I don't take L's. He then reveals he has better magic plugs than Doctor Strange himself and negged his tower being touched, unlike the Sanctum of Doctor Strange. So literally, Kingpin's tower has better magical defenses than Doctor Strange's inner sanctum. I don't know why you guys think modern Kingpin's trash. I know he jobbed to Back in Black Spider-Man, but that's a one-time thing. He's a goon literally every other time in 616. Like, I don't get where the hate and downplay for Kingpin comes from. He's hilarious. He also admits and proves in a battle with a witch and an evil force that scared the likes of Strange, he's literally willing to sell his soul to get the W. He's not going to lose to a hoe. He's gonna turn up and take the L after, but he's going to get the W against you right now. He is a GOAT. He states at some point early on in Spider-Man that he can fade Spider-Man whenever he wants to if he's motivated to do so. I think this is interesting because he's basically talking about how he doesn't actually really have beef with Spider-Man per se. It's more so Spider-Man is a thorn in his side. He doesn't really care about Spider-Man. He's trying to get money. He's trying to make moves, and sometimes Spider-Man's in a way. So he gets pushed off to the side. It's not really personal for him, and he says, if it was, you'd be dead, which is interesting to consider. One time, in a fit of rage, Kingpin says Spider-Man runs from direct fights, which literally, Spider-Man has talked about in their prior engagements. He doesn't like fighting Kingpin straight on. And that when enraged, he can beat a dozen Spider-Man if they chose to fight him straight up. So he was like, yo, if you had Shadow Clones and popped out a dozen more Spideys, I'm beating all of you up. Pretty impressive, bold statement, but enraged Kingpin is stupid strong. He also, after an exchange with Red Wing, who is Falcon, and Captain America, he reminds Captain America how they are easily on par if they were ever to throw down, and they do throw down, which I'll reveal the result of that later in the video. Red Skull actually states he would never confront Kingpin physically on purpose. At least he's going to avoid it at all costs. Keep note, he's literally confronted Cap multiple times, and he does not want to confront Kingpin. Spider-Man once says that Kingpin's standard Cane Ray, if fired full blast, can fry him, which is pretty impressive. Onlookers in the exchange between Kingpin and Spider-Man said that Kingpin appeared to be way more powerful than Spider-Man himself, as Spider-Man was like literally to himself at one point was like, yeah, I'm dead if he actually gets a clean hit, because he was about to literally splatter his skull. Also, at one point in a fight, Spider-Man mistaked his strength for a mutant, as Kingpin was literally throwing around a 3,000-pound dumbbell trying to take off Spidey's head. It was pretty funny. Now, let's move on to best feats. This is a bit longer of a section, so I'm going to try to be a little faster talking about it just so we get through it all in a good amount of time, because, you know, I was thorough with the Kingpin research. He's hilarious. First up, in their first ever fight, Kingpin folded the hell out of Spider-Man. No doubt about it. Spidey got folded. It is what it is. He also casually negged Spider-Man trying to blitz, grabbed both of his wrists and put him in a vice lock. Spider-Man also, in the grappling exchange, was getting dominated physically by Kingpin. Kingpin was literally slamming him around like a child. Spider-Man also really struggled and couldn't seem to overpower him. And it mostly, at that point in time, Spider-Man was trying to resort to long, drawn-out fights where he could find a weakness where it's like he just didn't want to straight-up fight Kingpin. A really impressive feat and respect Spider-Man has. You don't have to agree that they're relative or if Kingpin's above. You don't have to agree with that. But Spider-Man respects that and believes that. He knocked away an amped Daredevil before, who was trying to take him out from behind. Jigsaw, who is an opponent for Punisher, constantly and casually gets bitched by Kingpin, no problem. He once got riddled with bullets and it just pissed him off. It doesn't even seem to break through the first layer of his skin. He has abnormally padded skin. He evaded casually Hawkeye, who was tracking him. No problem at all getting out of there. Hawkeye is one of the premier agents in the world. So evading him is quite impressive. He's also shown casually one-shotting people, snapping their necks like twigs. Punisher isn't direct about fighting Kingpin. He avoids straight-on fights with Kingpin, similar to Spider-Man. And once again, Kingpin called him out on it. If you duck direct fights with Kingpin, he's going to let you know you're a bitch for it. I love it. He then blitzed Frank, who had prepped and cut the power. So Frank was controlling the battlefield, had prepped for this, and still was getting folded. This is when we see Kingpin tank a 10-inch blade to the chest and grab Punisher by the throat. He then beat Punisher, dropped him out a window. Like I said, Punisher literally prepped for this matchup. Kingpin got caught off guard, still won with that massive knife buried in his chest. He's a beast. He's also casually blitzed machine gun fire and just torn people apart, killing them all barehanded. Young Kingpin was able to stab someone for the disrespect faster than anyone around there could see. Keep in mind, Marvel humans literally think Beyonder runs like a Washington Redskins quarterback. These boys can see fast shit, alright? That's my point. He punched his punches when he hits people causes massive craters in the ground. Kingpin literally was unharmed from a Spider-Man dropkick and tells Spider-Man to relax. I thought this was hilarious. It was younger Kingpin getting established in the underworld, and Spider-Man came through the window, like, drop kicked him, and he was like, yo, bitch, like, relax. It's not that serious. He also casually folded a senator's son military level security team, no problem. Even as a young Kingpin, he was able to troll and lead Spider-Man on, manipulating him constantly in situations. Again, later in that comic with young Kingpin, a Spider-Man surprise strike to the face does 0 damage. He disarmed a dude while he was laying in a bathtub. You could either interpret it as he got the gun away from someone, or he had the Glock in the tub. Either way, you're not catching him slipping when he's washing his toes. Kingpin's gonna pop you if he's in the bathtub, okay? Showers, non-616, different story. We're not gonna talk about that. But in 616, catching Kingpin's lacking in the bathroom, not an option. He allows Spider-Man to hit him while enraged in order to frame Spidey. Enraged Spider-Man's punch barely made him bleed. He's, with 0 effort, folded several martial artists and seemed kind of bored doing it. Kingpin, one of the most important aspects of his character, if he takes an L to you, he's getting back at you 10 times worse. So, like, several of your friends will probably die just for you disrespecting. He absolutely folded Tombstone and tells him to remember who Kingpin is. He should know the vibes. You don't disrespect Kingpin, you get put down. Later on, I'll kind of discuss where Tombstone scales and why that's crazy. That he literally always beats him up. He easily blitzes gunmen that he sensed invading. He grabbed a dude and snapped his arm like a twig casually. He folds Tombstone just because he's annoyed. Like I said, that's constantly... like, it's constantly almost a meme in the comic. Like, Kingpin just beats up Tombstone for no reason all the time. He then, in one of my favorite exchanges, saved Doctor Strange in order for Doctor Strange to owe him a favor. He also survived an assault from a witch that pressed Strange. He rocked Moon Knight so bad with one punch that Moon Knight pretended to be knocked out so he didn't have to fight Kingpin. Ridiculous. Spider-Man is unable to strangle Kingpin even when using his legs and stating he was squeezing with all power possible. Literally going all out, couldn't grapple with Kingpin. Kingpin overpowered him once again and took him down. He folds Spider-Man constantly with grappling. It's just, for street tiers, grappling with Kingpin's a nightmare for most of them. 6 world-renowned martial artists couldn't even make him break a sweat, and it took him just a couple seconds to take them all down. He almost knocked out Spider-Man once with a simple bear hug, but he underestimated Spider-Man's ability to recover and didn't finish him off, so he dropped him kind of prematurely. Spider-Man really struggles to surprise KO Kingpin, and Kingpin dropped the ceiling on him with a cane blast casually. Kingpin has been shown, like, simply tearing open a massive bank vault with his bare hands. He is able to 4D chess Spidey when Spidey was being too annoying. Kingpin's like, okay, I'm actually going to plot on you. Spidey can't blitz Kingpin once more as he gets tactically folded. Most times when you try to blitz, he gets a hold of your wrists and just controls your wrists from there. Kingpin once more outgrapples and overpowers Spider-Man. He gets up a few seconds after taking a blast that Spidey said would one-shot Spider-Man. So remember prior I stated the cane full blast was stated to fry Spider-Man if it was to hit. That same blast hits Kingpin and he doesn't even get knocked out. Also, it's stated similar to his precog, he can also sense your power, so if you're a powerful opponent, he's going to know. He also casually tore open prison cell bars. The best all-out strike from Spidey, swinging from his web full with his feet, couldn't put down Kingpin. At that point, Spider-Man was like, dude, you have to have armor for skin. You're not normal. Like, that destroyed people, and it didn't even knock him out. Like I mentioned before, he got into a scrap with Captain America and folded him. Cap hit him with that shield and Kingpin said, look, dog, for all your, Boy Scout attributes, your super soldier serum, your skills, and your shield, that still ain't shit to big Kingpin. He then folds him and was going to kill him, but Falcon intervened and saved Captain America. So he actually straight up beat Cap even when Cap had his shield. If Spidey didn't block at one point, he stated Kingpin would have killed him with a strike. It appears in Rage, Serious Kingpin, his strikes can literally kill Spider-Man. Pretty consistently, at least in the old runs. The schemer who had beat Spidey in that same comic instantly conceded when Kingpin got to him. Kingpin also did the best against an amped Spider-Man compared to the rest of the Rogue Gallery. This Spider-Man had like 6 arms and was going around mopping the floor with everyone, and Kingpin by far did the best out of his whole group. Fresh out of a coma, he bullied Spider-Man physically, and then he, like I said, mentioned before, his serious strikes are dangerous. He almost killed Spider-Man with a stomp to the face. Once more in a grappling exchange with Spider-Man, Spider-Man had the advantage of leverage of where he was, yet Kingpin was still able to slam him through a brick wall and then KO him. Daredevil in their first fight was slightly weakened and absolutely got mauled by Kingpin in one shot, and he was literally hurting himself trying to hurt Kingpin. Kingpin then later one-tapped the door casually that Daredevil nearly tore everything on himself like up trying to open. It was a massive strain. He one-shots demons that stated to serve the boss of all demons. He fights against Spider-Man have lasted as long as 6 hours before. He has folded Deadpool like a damn pretzel when Deadpool annoyed him. In an 8v1 versus the 8 best prodigies at martial arts school in the world, Kingpin won in seconds. And like I said before, he's beaten the hell out of Punisher. And he's low-diffed him casually even when Punisher had weapons. Next time they clashed, Kingpin beat up Punisher so bad and was so disgusted by how trash Punisher was, he didn't even kill him. He didn't think he was worthy of it. In his Gucci mink robe, Kingpin once lost to Kingpin in a drawn-out battle. However, I thought this was impressive because for context, like I said, Kingpin's in his robe, pissed about his girl disappearing, so he's just raging. Panthers also conceded in this fight that he prepped for the entire battle in every step of the way. Despite that, Kingpin was still physically ragdolling him. So still an impressive feat for Kingpin. He, at one point, fought Red Skull, who is a clone of Captain America's body, and is considered a world, renowned martial artist and a hand-to-hand combat specialist. And he got folded horribly by Kingpin to the point that Kingpin almost killed him. He also constantly tracks Norman Osborn and, in my opinion, seems to be smarter than him. He said it's casual, but he doesn't have beef with Osborn. So he has no need to do anything with the information. Also, this is an important feat, and I feel like it should be talked about. Spider-Man fans literally pissed themselves when he was shown to, quote, not hold back with a punch on accident and, knock Scorpion's jaw off. So, he would knock human jaws off, kill them if he wasn't holding back. Kingpin casually tore a dude's arm off, just shaking his hand. He was like, let me send a message. Shook firmly, arm literally ripped off. That's not impressive? What? And he wasn't trying, he wasn't going all out. He literally was just shaking it. You could see it. There was no crazy effort, full body yank. Nothing like that. It was a handshake, and he was able to casually rip the dude's arm off. Come on, Kingpin's stupid strong. We need a story explaining why he's so damn strong. Is he a mutant? Is he inhuman? What is he? Why is he so damn strong? We need to know. He knocked a bloodlusted Matt Murdock, a.k.a. Daredevil, out before. He also was able to casually almost delimb Black Cat. He literally was going to do it if interference wasn't run. And he's also folded platoons of ninjas pretty casually while unarmed. So, that I don't want to waste too much time and go over the wank. It's not necessary. This is literally just a review of his street tier stuff. So I'm going to give a synopsis, of some of the things he's done for his street tier resume. He has, in my opinion, at least over a 70% win-loss ratio versus Spider-Man safely, which is impressive and should be one of the highest for Spider-Man's rogue gallery. Spider-Man has one of the most impressive rogue galleries of any street tier ever. I don't care. Don't at me. He has more than 10 wins against Spidey. Most times, Spidey is actually the one dropping in on him, and Kingpin doesn't even want to fight him. He has beaten Punisher every time they have fought in 616 that I could find. Currently, I think that is at 3-0. Punisher had weapons, and Kingpin was unarmed in 2 of those battles, and it didn't matter. He is 1-0 or 100% against Captain America, and it was an easy win for him. He's 1-0, 100% against Red Skull. Skull had Cap's clone body, is a master of hand-to-hand, and has bested Black Widow, Nick Fury, Black Panther, and has done well on several occasions versus Cap, and has even beaten Spidey before, but got fucked on by Kingpin. It is what it is, man. He also has multiple wins over Tombstone, and routinely bitches him throughout history. Tombstone has beaten Spidey and beat up Moon Knight before, yet gets mauled. 1-0 against Moon Knight. He hit Moon Knight so hard, Moon Knight feigned the KO to duck a real fight. He would be 2-0 against Red Skull, but like I said, Red Skull ducked meeting him again. And in my opinion, he by far did the best against an amped Spider-Man with 6 arms compared to the rest of Spider-Man's rogues. So, there you have it. Where do you think Kingpin ranks among street tiers? I think, personally, he's one of the best and one of the most underrated in comics, for sure. Given throughout time what he's been able to pull off against Spider-Man, Captain America, Red Skull, all of them. Consistently one of the most dangerous characters shown in New York, and I think he's a monster. Check out my it should be a live stream tonight, if not tonight, soon. I'm going to be organizing a street tier list. Quote street tier, because street tier is low-key and not even a tier. But you guys are going to be able to tune in and live help arrange the tier. You will get to help impact where we put each character. Sorry, hairball. And when we do that, after, I will compare it to my list I make before the stream. So that should be super fun, a chance for fans to interact with me. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. But anyways, it's been your boy, YFE. I hope you guys enjoyed this video reviewing the God of Goons, Kingpin. And I will see y'all later. Peace. Alright, so today, obviously, another banger. We have one of the funniest Goon series videos to date. Shout out to my guy who purchased this. This is Marvel humans getting busy in the trenches. They don't need gods. You see, ever since I got deep into Marvel scaling, especially classic era, I started discovering all these moments of Marvel humans just being gangster as shit, right? For no reason. So I was like, you know what? I need to start pushing this agenda of letting people know how gangster Marvel humans are. And I did see comments when I put this as a suggestion a while back. Like, yo, are you going to use, like, Punisher, like, Black Widow, like those peak humans? No. I'm talking about the regular humans in Marvel, the everyday people. Shout out to them. Smash the like button for them. 400 likes, and I'll do a part 2. But this is Marvel humans not needing any gods. I hope you guys enjoy. And without further ado, let's begin. So, first moment I want to talk about is part of a hilarious exchange from the old Eternal comics. Now, there was a point in which deviants were invading Earth and wrecking chaos and mayhem and trying to basically incur the wrath of humans, right? And the police were not having this shit, right? The New York cops are in the trenches fighting back. And the deviants try to intimidate the police chief, right? And no, it wasn't even the chief. It was just like a regular ass lieutenant on the street, right? And they energy blast by him. He just stands there and casually lets that shit pass his face. And then he turns back and he's like, yo, men, fuck them up, dogs. And they start rolling on the deviants. The fact he kept it so gangster with what they thought was literally demons from hell is insane, but a classic. Shout out to the blatant disrespect shown towards the Beyonders in this next moment. So they didn't respect his athleticism, right? Beyonders running from the Avengers at one point, and regular humans are commentating when they see this shit. They're like, oh, look, that dude is getting chased by Cap. They're like, yo, he's kind of fast. Is that Washington's quarterback? And I was like, bro, did you civilians just really compare the athleticism of Beyonder to a quarterback? That's mad disrespectful. Like, if you guys read classic Marvel, the regular civilians have the best commentary. And yeah, they were not that impressed with Beyonder and compared him to a quarterback, not even a running back. Next to talk about is their potential, right? So, Marvel humans, if you didn't know, have god tier potential, which is probably why they pull up on anyone to have such a damn complex, right? So, we actually discovered this multiple times throughout the comics, but one good example is Beyonder talking about it. Beyonder was like, not only are these humans mean as shit, but they literally have cosmic cube levels of potential. That's right. Marvel humans are walking around that dangerous. Let me know in the comment section what you think about their potential being that high. I think it's amazing, and it makes sense because Marvel is more about like humans striving for godhood, where DC is like gods trying to understand man. But next moment is one of the funniest ones, and this was an exchange between Beyonder and humans again, right? So Beyonder was in the hood with Luke Cage. He was ordering breakfast, it might have been lunch or dinner, and he was ordering food, and a group of black dudes were laughing at him, right? And Beyonder's like, yo, why are they laughing at me? And Luke's like, it's because you're white, like, obviously. And so Beyonder's like, oh, shit. And he turns himself black with a fro. And the group of black dudes are like, yo, this dude's trying to blackface in front of us. Like, you think this shit's funny. So they pull up on him. And Beyonder starts trying to talk in slang. The humans literally slump him. I'm talking about rock him in his shit. And they're like, yo, we're about to jump the hell out of this boy. And Luke Cage had to step in. That's right. Shout out to the regular humans that slumped Beyonder for pulling a blackface. So this moment was hilarious because it had to do with Human Torch. So at one point, Human Torch gets depowered, right? Doesn't have any flames. He lands among the civilians, right? There's some massive flames in the sky going on, and it's worrying the shit out of civilians, and rightfully so, right? They're like, yo, someone's trying to burn our asses alive. So they see Torch, and they're like, yo, Torch, I bet you're the reason for those flames in the sky. And they start brawling with Torch. Torch had to start fighting back, and he's like, yo, even though I don't have powers, I'll still fight back. I'm the Torch. No one manhandles Torch. So he's literally admitting they were manhandling him, which was hilarious, and Thing had to drop in to kind of break it up. But yeah, them humans were pressed about Torch, and they started immediately putting hands on him. Next was the time they caught Surfer lacking. So, classic Surfer was flying around, right? He starts getting blasted by humans. Humans think it's smoke, right? Like, they're sick of aliens pulling up on Earth, pseudo-gods, all this shit. They're like, yo, we need to get this bitch out of the sky. And they shot at Surfer so much and rocked him so bad that when Surfer finally ran into, the Fantastic Four, they took him off his board because he was slumping over, and they're like, what happened? And he's like, yo, those humans packed such a punch when they were blasting me that they almost drained me of my cosmic power. And I was like, oh my god. Marvel humans are such little savages. So yeah, they nearly put Surfer on life alert. Next, of course, you could be that guy And you could argue, you know, oh, this was a figure of speech. Doubt it, though. This shit was real, and let's get into it. Now, Thing was brawling with Galactus, because obviously Thing is about it, right? Like, he's not running from shit. Runs up on Galactus and starts ankle picking him, right? While he's doing this, while Thing has Galactus in the ankle hold, he's looking around and he goes, yo, where's the Marvel New York cops when you need them? And while you guys might think he was being funny, personally, given the track record of how savage Marvel's New York cops are, I think it's likely Thing really was asking where they were. Shout out to Thing for believing in Marvel cops enough to think they would shift the tide of battle against Galactus, and honestly, I don't blame him. Now, this one is a typical modern-day Silver Surfer tragedy that took place in a Marvel Comics classic era, right? So Surfer landed and was looking around, and he landed in a field of Mexicans. Why? Because classic Marvel does not care. I told y'all that. And so they see Surfer and they're like, yo, peep game, homie. You're shiny. You're flying around and shit. It's obvious you're an alien. I bet you're worth a shit ton of money on the black market. And Surfer's like, what? And they start jumping the shit out of Surfer. Actually, briefly take him down, and they're like, yo, we're gonna take this bitch and we're gonna sell him to the highest bidder. We're gonna make a fuck ton of money. Like, shout out to this random silver alien we found. And of course he gets away, but the fact that they jumped Surfer and we're gonna try to sell him for some bread was absolutely hilarious. Now next was a vibe check delivered by Shield Patrol in Marvel. So there was a crash site, right? And there was also a secret site where prisoners were held, all this shit. And this is being explained and narrated to the reader. I was reading this, and then when we pan in the comic to the entrance where the human security are, as we get close to the entrance, they look at us and go, yo, you don't have authorization. Get the hell out of here. Like, you're not a part of this shit. You need to go. And I'm like, wait a minute. Did like these guards just tell us as the reader to kick rocks? These regular humans? Sure enough, that's exactly what they did. Shout out to Shield Security for keeping it G and letting us know that we can't run up in their shit when they're on patrol. That was an absolutely hilarious moment. Next, we have the time. This was wild. So there was a god that came in the form of like a green tiger, and this was a being that like even scared Iron Fist when he ran into it. He's like, oh shit, this might scale to like Shao Lao. And we see Ava. She's a newer character in Marvel. She's talking to this god, and keep in mind, this god has literally scared Shumagorath. And she goes, yo, I know what you're really afraid of. And he's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, humans. She's like, humans don't need you. Humans be wilding on their own. What's going to happen to you? How strong are you if no one believes in you or believes they need you? And the idea of Marvel humans turning on him and being that savage of a mentality had that boy shook. That's right, beefing with Marvel humans had a god who beefed with Shuma or made him scared tremble. Like, it doesn't make sense, but we're here for it because it's Marvel human scaling. So shout out to these final two moments. They're kind of combined and it's hilarious. Again, this is from the Deviant arc. And the Deviant was approached, like the Deviant King, and he's like, how can we take out the humans? How can we take out the Eternals as well? And the Celestials, because obviously Celestials are badass. And this one dude's like, yo, peep game, right? We need to get the humans to beef with Celestials. And the King's like, why would they beef with Celestials? And the dude goes, because Marvel humans don't give a shit. He's like, they will beef with God if they think God is coming down to fuck up their Tuesday. That's how savage Earth 616 humans are. They literally will swing. And sure enough, when the deviants faked a like pseudo rapture and sent down in their demonic forms their deviants to look like demons, the humans at first, they're like, oh shit, look what's coming from like out of space. Like that's definitely Satan, definitely demons. Like this shit's the rapture. They were scared at first, but immediately it turned to anger, and the Marvel humans were like, yo, if they want to come down from space and beef with us, we'll send their bitch asses back where they came from. And the other dude's like, yeah, exactly. We'll give them their licks. Like, fuck them, dog. And I was like, bro, how savage are Marvel humans? But yeah, the fact they were about to beef with demons and did, and they're not even demons. They just literally believe the rapture was upon them and they're trying to ride for their respect. Absolute comedy. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. What do you think of Marvel humans? Do they deserve a part 2? Smash the comment, the like buttons, and hit the comment section and let me know. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace. Alright, so I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I have certain characters that I wish had better writing or more consistently were portrayed to win and stuff like that. And for me, one of those would have to be Taskmaster from Marvel. Luckily, someone went ahead and purchased 2 Goon videos for Taskmaster. So a part 2 will be coming out, which you should look forward to. But in this one, we're obviously going to explore all the wild stuff Taskmaster has done throughout the years. Now, on top of the Taskmaster video we're about to do, I think what I'm going to start doing is giving out coupon codes every time someone purchases multiple videos at a time. So in this instance, the code is Taskmaster. Discount will get you 25 of video, so only $25 of video that you request and purchase. Hit me up on Discord and use the code unlimited uses. This will expire in 2 days, so definitely hit me up. But anyways, getting back to this, I hope you guys enjoy Taskmaster, because we're really about to get into some of his funniest feats he's ever done. And without further ado, let's begin. So, on his way to chasing the bag, right? Like, Taskmaster had to get some shit done. Oftentimes, in cases where Taskmaster's on a mission or trying to make a play, he has to use stuff he's emulated before. Styles he's emulated, voices, emotions, patterns, all these things. He does this, in this case, by copying the drip and voice of Tony Stark, aka Iron Man himself. And copying exactly his voice and code, he's able to literally break into Stark's personal lab, which is insane. So shout out to the break-in ability of my boy Taskmaster, as he's capable of breaking into basically anything. Next, we have the time that it was revealed how Taskmaster is able to remember so much fighting shit. So obviously, with his power being to copy styles, moves, abilities, techniques, emotions, all these things related to combat in the fields he works in, Taskmaster has to have a way to manage such a vast amount of info. He explains in one instance that his brain actually in each compartment has like combat situations, normal memories, family memories, shit like that, and his brain will opt to get rid of certain memories in order to store combat memories. That's right. He's literally wired to be about the fade at all times, which is completely badass and was dope to see for his character. Next, we see that there's a lot more than just him copying other characters when it comes to him being prosperous in the thief and mercenary business. So, upon breaking in one time, he was obviously boloing everything. He was getting past security, getting past traps, all that shit. And he was explaining that one of the ways he became so amazing at thief work and spy shit is he literally had a bunch of James Bond movies and a bunch of Mission Impossible films, and would literally just watch them all the time and copy them. Like, he would literally copy them in order to perfect the way they would hit licks, get the drop on ops, all that spy shit. He literally learned from watching fiction, which is hilarious. Next, we see him actually like style on someone while cycling through all his styles while drinking, I think, what was soup. So while he's sitting there like eating his soup, having a good time, chilling, all that, they're like, yo, shouldn't you be worried people are running up? He's like, yo, relax, pimp. You gotta understand, I can literally cycle through all my styles, techniques, all that pretty much instantly. So I don't really give a shit if I get run up on. And sure enough, when they pull up on him, due to his finesse and all the skills and techniques and looks and patterns at his disposal, Taskmaster easily gets away from his ops, absolutely embarrassing them and casually getting on the run. Next, we see one moment in which, in particular, Taskmaster absolutely styled on somebody in terms of just shitting on them in their own field. So, I believe it was in a Daredevil run. This one character was, in particular, a chi master and working on several high, caliber techniques and moves. While doing this, Taskmaster runs up on them. The character looks over and is like, yo, back up, bitch. You don't want no beef. And Taskmaster's like, what if I do, bitch? And they're like, yo, you see these techniques? You see these moves? I've literally taken 10 years of nonstop practice to master and perfect these. Taskmaster runs up and is like, cool. I learned them in 10 minutes, pussy. And punches them in his shit. Absolutely folds him with the chi techniques, proving that he can indeed casually style on you, even after moments of seeing something that took you forever to master. Next, we see he has a really dope feature to his photographic memory. So, of course, he remembers all muscle movements and stuff from characters he interacts with. In one instance, he had basically, and you'll see this from a moment later in this video, he had some memories overwritten by the fact he had to absorb a fighting style way above human comprehension, right? So this led to him forgetting certain people in his life. During a fight, a couple characters were trying to get him to remember them, and while he's battling, I think one included like an ex-wife or some shit, and while he's battling, he realizes who they are, and he's like, yo, look, it doesn't matter what happens to my memory, if it gets folded or whatnot, because regardless, I'll recognize y'all's battle movements anywhere because of how fucking good I am at what I do. Like, don't even disrespect or doubt that. And they're like, oh shit, bet. And yeah, so he can literally remember you just by the muscle memory that he's seen before. Next, kind of like I just mentioned, the time. This was an alien technique, and it came in a fight Taskmaster had with one of his ops. And the dude was like, listen, I know how to body you. I'm going to use a style because, like, it's an alien style, literally alien. You don't have the physiology or literally the mental capacity to even comprehend the style and do anything. And so he spins the block, starts fighting Taskmaster. Taskmaster downloads the style anyway. Ends up getting the win, like overpowers the dude by using all his styles. And ends up pretty easily, like, beating him. But the problem was, this did cause him to lose some memories, but like I said, he's such a goon and such a good fighter and has such a flawless fighting memory that he remembered those people anyway later because he remembered their fighting styles and techniques. Next, we have the time he ascended to God of Poker. So this was funny as shit. So while on an undercover mission, of course, the boy Taskmaster, aka Tony Masters, he was on his James Bond shit. He's spying, and he's watching a poker game go on, right? And he's like, yo, I've been watching this for a little bit. That little shit over there is for sure cheating at this shit. And after observing the guy, he's like, alright, bet, I'm ready to play. So, Taskmaster hops in to play poker with everybody. Keep in mind, Taskmaster's not a poker guy, and he's playing someone that's legit a monster plus is cheating. Goes to play everybody at the table. Tell me why the boy was cleaner at the cheat than the dude who was cheating first, ends up styling on him and becomes the poker god. It was hilarious to see, and definitely a W for Taskmaster. Put that in the chat. And run this up to 500 likes, by the way. That would be amazing. I love you all, by the way. Shout out to the Goonies, or whatever I'm going to call y'all. We'll probably have a vote on that next week for the channel. But anyway, getting back to this. Next moment, we have the time he got in a brawl with Captain America. But check this out, right? This wasn't a normal brawl. As Taskmaster's brawling with him, he's like, hold up, you stupid bitch. I've fought Captain America plenty of times. I've also fought Winter Soldier before. I've studied Winter Soldier. I've seen what he does in fights. You are Bucky, you dumb bitch. And Bucky, who was obviously at the time masquerading as Captain America, was like, shut up, bitch. They start scrapping, and he's like, I'm going to knock you the hell out for, bringing that up, saying basically I'm a fake, all that shit. And he's like, come at me, bitch. And they start scrapping. Taskmaster's fine, and eventually the fight gets broken up. But yeah, it was hilarious how he called out Bucky for what he presumed to be basically acting like he was really Captain America, when really Bucky was doing what it takes to amp his team and his side and lead them to victory. Final moment, again, smash the like button if you haven't already. Shout out to all the Taskmaster fans that have come to show support today. We have the final moment. This is the time Taskmaster got ran up on by multiple Spider-Men. I'm talking about Miles Morales and Peter, right? They immediately get rocked and knocked out of a window. And as they're getting launched away, Spider-Man's like, bitch, I told you. He's like, bro, we can't just run up on Taskmaster. Like, that shit is not that sweet. And Miles is like, you're right, fam. My fault. I almost fumbled that bag. Could have really got us fucked up. And they had to double back to try to get the win again and prep and, like, strategize, because they couldn't just run up on the boy. He was too slick with it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, there is a discount code. Check out the beginning of the video. It is Taskmaster. Gets you 25 a video. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace. What's up, everybody? Real quick, shout out to my lawyer, GB. Was his birthday recently. He also cheated to answer the question to the 4 videos for today. So shout out to him. Big W's and happy birthdays in the chat to him, as well as in the comments. And real quick, if you love the beef series, which is what we're about to do, run the likes up on this video. Get it to like 500 or 600 likes, and I'll make a part 2, or I'll cover a different beef related to this, as well as if you want to see any of the scans from the beef series, just join my public Discord. Absolutely free. But anyways, getting back to the video, this is Dr. Doom versus Yancey Street. One of the most epic beefs I've ever read in comics. It's hilarious, and of course, Dr. Doom's an icon in this channel. So I'm going to go ahead and make this video. Again, if you didn't know, the Beef series is a series where I cover a beef between character or characters in a story arc, and go over the epic nature of the story, and go over who I think wins at the end. With that, I hope you guys enjoy. If you haven't subscribed, do so already. Without further ado, let's begin. Alright, this story and beef takes place in Fantastic Four 361, A Christmas Special, one of the best comics ever. And it starts out the story with called The Miracle on Yancey Street. And we see Ben Grimm being put in a device, this massive like clamp on his arm. We find out that this Christmas Eve he's dealing with a broken arm. And Reed Richards is actually observing Ben Grimm to make sure that his new anatomy, which of course, changed from the space incident, he's got to make sure that the bones reset properly and all that. And then Ben Grimm is put into a cast. And we see Ben's like, dude, this is bullshit to have to deal with on Christmas Eve. And then we see this random guy show up in the lobby of the Baxter building. He's mad nervous. He's like, yo. He's talking to himself. He's like, I don't know if he'll remember me. All this, and we get the sense that he's nervous about what's going on. This is when, at this point, the receptionist goes, yo, Ben, you got someone looking to talk to you. And Ben's like, dude, damn that. Tell him to kiss my ass. My arm's broken. It's Christmas Eve. This is bullshit. I just want to go home. And she's like, oh, well, he said he knows you from your childhood. And Ben's like, oh, really? Because, Yancey Street for life, bitch. And she goes, yeah, Slugkowski. He goes, oh, shit. Slugger's here. Goes and daps up his homie. W in the chat for childhood lore. Things like this. I love this in comics when characters just get the little things in their background that really flesh out their character. And this is one of those things for Ben Grimm that makes him amazing. See Slugkowski, he's like, yo, Slugger, what's good, my boy? Daps him up. He's like, bro, Yancey for life, all this. Let's go get a beer. They go get a beer, turn up. They're happy, right? And this is when eventually it leads to Slugger going, yo, Ben, I'm going to be honest. My son Jimmy fell to the streets. And Ben's like, that's cool, bro. We weren't perfect in our childhood. And he's like, I know that, but Jimmy, really fell into drugs, I think, and shit like that, and he's disappeared in the streets. I don't know where he is. I just want my son back. Ben Grimm's like, damn, bro, that sucks. And Slugger's like, yo, for the one time, can you rescue my son, bro? You're a hero to all the kids from Yancey Street, because you're the one that symbolizes making it out the hood. We love you, all that. Just, can you bring my son back? And Ben Grimm's like, fuck it, I'll do what I can. It then pans over to us seeing what happened to little Jimmy. Jimmy was making a move. He saw he was being followed by some strange disguised men and was like, damn, narcs. Ducks into an alley, runs into both of them, gets taken. This was witnessed by a character that will be talked about in a little bit. Story leaves from here and pans over to Johnny Storm in the Baxter building. If you didn't know, Johnny Storm did at one point have a thing with Alicia, even was married to her. But that was like an alien version of her. It's really fucking complicated. But long story short, him and Alicia aren't together. And so he's kind of coping with this. He's sad. And he stumbles upon little Franklin Richards. W in the live chat for Franklin Richards fans. He makes an appearance. He's trying to carry a bag of decorations. Johnny's like, what are you doing? He's like, bro, I'm trying to decorate this place. And Johnny's like, why? He's like, because it's sad as hell, bitch. He's like, yo, my uncle's arm is broken. Uncle Ben's arm's broken. My parents are sad and confused. You just lost your girl. It's real dim around here. We need to cheer up. And Johnny was like, you know what? Facts, Big Frankie. I'm going to help you out. Gives him a hug. And it's, it's a nice little piece to the story. Next, we go to pan over to Ben, right? Ben Grimm is in the hood. He's in the trenches back on Yancey Street, looking to recover his homie's son, Jimmy. As Ben's walking, he's like, damn, I haven't been here in a minute. It's just crazy, all the work I used to put in, all that. Suddenly gets hit by a snowball. And he sees this kid go, yo, fuck you, Ben Grimm. You're a bitch. No one wants you around here. Yancey gang for life. And Ben Grimm's like, oh my god, I can't believe this shithead gang is back. And he proceeds to take off after the Yancey Street gang kid that just struck him. When he makes it to the alley, he slips and falls and immediately starts getting clowned in this really intricate fashion by a kid that's soon introduced as Dictionary Dawson. So I'm going to go ahead and break down this generation of the members of the Yancey Street Gang, because this was a new version of the gang to Ben Grimm as well. So Dictionary Dawson is a black kid with a high top fade, usually wears the green coat, and he drops straight intricate bars, dog. It's hilarious. He was like, I do believe you are sloppy and you lack the type of balance to, make it this far. Like, he just talks in a fancy way that drives Ben Grimm nuts. And he calls him like a walking thesaurus, all that, but his nickname is Dictionary Dawson. We then have Smooth Manny. Smooth Manny is known for like breaking locks and stuff. Smooth also dresses like Michael Jackson, low-key. He's hella swaggy with it. We have Two-Fisted Tommy Boyd, who will ride for a homicide. That's the child. I think it's actually a girl. If not, it's a young boy. It's kind of hard to tell. And Thing does call Two-Fist a lady, so, probably is a girl. And it's the one that threw the snowball at Ben Grimm. So we know that she's about it. Then we have Lug, who can basically steal any car and says, like, if you need a getaway vehicle, he's the man. We have Big Dog Larry Lee, who is the big kid for the group. Basically the muscle if something goes down. And lastly, we have Rhythm, right? Rhythm doesn't really talk and was the witness to Jimmy getting snatched, because Ben Grimm goes, yo, I just want information on this kid named Jimmy, and he noticed him get a little uncomfortable, and he's like, what do y'all know? And they're like, yo, Rhythm saw Jimmy get snatched. We're actually about to go slide on whatever bitches took him. Like, they're done with. And he was like, wait, how do we know Rhythm knows that? Like, how do we know Ben Grimm basically accuses Rhythm of being retarded, right? He's like, you that's what you are. He said, I forget the way he phrased it, like several screws short of something. It was weird. It was like some old timer ways, but they were pretty brutal back in the day for Marvel. Wouldn't be said in the current time, but they're like, yo, relax. There's nothing, he's not special needs or anything. He's not autistic or anything like that. He literally just took like this weird, basically semi-vow of silence ever since, what happened to the tragedy with his sister. And Ben Grimm's like, oh shit, he's not special needs, he's not, a few whatever, his sister died. And they're like, nah, his sister became a cop. They're like, yo, he's so shamed by her becoming a cop that he's taking a semi-vow of silence. And Thing realizes at that point he's dealing with straight real ones. And they're like, yo, we're going to slide on them. And he's like, what about me? And they're like, yo, you can keep up if you think you can, but we're getting our shit and we're sliding. So they pull off, right? And they're going to go fight whoever took Jimmy. When they arrive to the spot, Dictionary Dawson's like, oh shit, I do believe we have arrived at the destination we previously discussed and extrapolated upon our mission. I think, at this current juncture, we should make moves. He's saying crazy shit, right? And Ben's like, dude, shut your mouth. Like, I don't know why you're so smart. Literally for no reason. I don't know. Why are you in a gang if you're that smart? And then he's like, all right, kids, y'all stay here. I need to go do my superhero shit and get the kid back. And that's when we see Lug go, like, dude, kiss our ass. Like, we're a gang. Like, we're going to get our boy back. We don't care what you do. And at that point, Larry Lee's like, yo, this is our neighborhood. Don't get it twisted. We slide regardless. And Ben's like, damn, I respect that. And then Smooth Manny quickly hits the lock and is like, yeah, I can easily finesse this. Quickly undoes it. And they break into the location, right? At this point, we see they got in. It's some kind of lab. The strangers that took Jimmy confront them. They start brawling. No questions asked, right? They're like, yeah, this shit's about to go down. But Ben Grimm gets hit first. And Two Fist Tommy's like, yo, why did you let yourself get hit first? And he's like, I like my ops to swing first, because when they swing first, I can see what they're made of, and this dude don't hit hard enough, bitch. And he swings back, folds the stranger. Turns out to be a robot. He's like, oh shit, we're fighting robots. The kids don't care. They're scrapping these robots anyway, as we realize they're Doom bots. And as they're brawling with them, we see this kid is in another location strapped to a table, and it's obviously Jimmy. He's yelling for help, and someone's saying, nah, bitch, no one's gonna help you. And as they finish off the bots, Lug says the shit they were dealing with is like OD. He's like, yo, whoever made these robots is tripping, because they're way too sophisticated for the hood. Like, I don't know I don't know why the hood's dealing with this. And sorry, hairball. Ben Grimm's like, yeah, this is definitely a sign of trouble. Like, this shit's rough. Tommy is accused at that point by Dictionary Dawson, who's like, based on the current data we have measured and discussed, you are most likely a fan of Ben Grimm now. And Tommy's like, yo, kiss my ass. I'm not a Ben Grimm fan. He's still an op, all that. But it's clear Ben's getting their respect for the work he's putting in right now. And then, again, the group is confused as to who they're possibly dealing with, who they're beefing with. And at this point, we see Manny go, yo, like, who would even pay for this? Like, this is expensive as shit for someone to do in the hood. And that's when Ben Grimm gets blasted and shot. Hit the like button if you haven't already. It's getting crazy, as we see the person who shot him is none other than Dr. Doom. Doom's like, yo, I ain't even gonna lie. Y'all are straight up peasants, and I'm about to smoke Yancey packs, bitch. And the beef is real. As Grimm gets up, he's like, yo, kids, y'all gotta get out of here. And the kids are like, damn that. Lug's like, yo, why would we leave you? Like, we're not going to leave you behind. That shit is crazy. No, actually, it wasn't Lug. It was Manny that said it. He's like, yeah, we can't leave you behind. And that's when we see little two-fisted Tommy. It's a legendary line. Go, our colors don't run. Keep in mind, these are literal children with no powers, willingly beefing with Dr. Doom for their respect on the block. They don't run from shit. That is W's in the chat. That's crazy. Like, who? No one steps harder than the Yancey Street Gang. I'm sorry, that's crazy. And they elect to stay there for the beef, as Ben asks Doom why he's there. What's he doing with, like, the drug business and all that? And Doom's like, don't accuse me of being involved with such peasant activities, like selling drugs. Like, that's poor people shit. I don't sell drugs. I run a fucking country. Like, that's ridiculous. And he's like, that is so beneath me. And he pulls the Glock out and starts blasting away at Ben. This shootout is interrupted by Larry Lee. Big Larry picks up some scrap metal, hits Doom with it, and knocks the gun away and says, yo, he might be a bitch, but that's our bitch. You don't shoot at Ben Grimm. You're beefing with the gang now. And Doom turns around and is like, oh my god, I can't believe kids are really pulling up on me. And this is when we see Doom go, fuck them kids. And he's like, you think I need the Glock to battle? I was just doing that to troll. I don't need it when I'm power incarnate. Starts blasting away at the children. Oh no, the kids are in jeopardy. Doom doesn't give a shit. And luckily, these kids know how to get out the way and run off on the plug. They get out of the way of danger, and they manage to not take any damage. And we see, as they scramble away, Doom's like, yeah, bitch, like, y'all are lucky you're kids, and I don't really beef with kids, because I could have used my full power and taken you out. Ben pulls up on Doom and is like, yo, fight someone that's on your power level. Doom's like, how am I going to do that right now? I don't see anyone that's on my level, bitch. And the two start brawling. The brawl, unfortunately for Ben Grimm, does not go his way, as Doom does take the advantage. Keep in mind, though, Ben is dealing with the broken arm. So it's basically one-limbed versus prepped Doom. And we find out what Doom was doing. Doom is like, yo, I was trying to cure drug addiction and like fix it in a worldwide sense because I'm goated. But he soon realized that it was a complicated issue and wasn't that simple. And he was using Yancey Street kids and Yancey Street goons because he was like, no one cares if these poor people go missing and die. And I'm like, oh my god, Doom, you can't say that. But of course, cancel Doom in the live chat. F in the comment section. But he's like, yeah, of course. I mean, Doom should be canceled basically every time he appears. But he was like, yeah, I was using them because who cares about them? And Ben's like, you can't do that. That shit's crazy. And Ben's like, yo, let's finish this fight. But Doom's like, nah, bitch. I'll finish you when you reach the peak of your power so I can humiliate you the most. And Doom decides to dip. We see the kids were actually ready to jump him, but they see Doom literally opts to leave. No funny shit, just leaves. He's like, fuck this. I'm not going to cure shit. I don't feel like saving y'all anymore. It's too much work. You're annoying. I'm out, bitch. And he dips. And the kids drop down. And they reveal to Ben Grimm that they found Jimmy. They recovered and saved Jimmy, and he is alive and well. Ben Grimm's like, oh shit, let's go get him to his dad. Plus, we gotta run it. And they're like, why? And he's like, because Doom's not the type to leave evidence. He's definitely gonna blow this bitch up, even if kids are involved. And they dip out of the building. When they get out, sure enough, the building explodes. So yes, Dr. Doom was trying to put kids on a t-shirt. Shit happens in the streets. We see they soon return Jimmy to his father, Slugger, and Ben Grimm's like, yo, I'm glad I got you your boy back. Just remember, Yancey Street for life, my guy. Like, never be worried about come dapping the homie up. I remember where I'm from. I remember my roots. And Slugger's like, for sure. Takes his kid. He's like, I'm gonna help my kid get right. All that. Loves his kid. They dip, right? Feel good as shit. We see the gang go up to him. They're like, yo, we used to think you were a bitch, but you stepped like a gangster today. In fact, we'll give you a hood pass. We're not going to beat you up every time you come back now. You're good with us. In fact, Merry Christmas. And they all give Ben Grimm a hug. What a tearjerker. W in the chat down below. But let me insert a major Goon moment. They run off after that and they're like, let's go home. It's Christmas Eve. But when they get out of earshot of Ben Grimm, they're like, yo, what a stupid bitch. We really finessed him. He really fell for that. He thought we were friends. And we see they put a kick me sign on him. Not only that, one of them goes, yo, let's really get out of here before he realizes I stole his wallet. We then see the story kind of wrap up with Ben Grimm going back home, walking in pissed off as the Fantastic Four is there along with Alicia. Johnny gives Alicia stuff because Alicia was having a hard time given that an alien literally took her place in life and she fell in love with Johnny. And she's like, Johnny's like, look, just move on with your life. Everything's good. All that shit. Alicia's like, oh, that's dope. And then everything's supposed to be cool. But again, Ben Grimm comes in pissed and Franklin's like, what's wrong? He's like, yo, these kids fucking robbed me. And they put a kick me sign on. Fuck them kids. Like, they ruined my Christmas. And they calm him down. They're like, yo, you're with the fam now. It's all good. Forget about it. And I think it was Sue and Alicia give him a kiss under the mistletoe. And Ben Grimm tells the reader Merry Christmas. That's how this legendary story ends. Now, who do I think wins the beef? There's multiple beefs throughout this story. Main one being residents of Yancey Street and just Yancey Street in general, which would include Ben Grimm versus Dr. Doom. Who do I think wins between those two? That's a tough one. I kind of see it as a draw, but Doom hit the walk-off, which was hilarious. So you let me know in the comment section down below. I'll let the fans decide. I might side slightly with Dr. Doom, but then again, Yancey Street Gang was not afraid to beef with him, which was legendary. So let me know. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons. Dropping 4 videos today. Make sure to go check out the second channel because 2 of them will be on there, including a Bleach video and a comic book matchup. Anyway, it's been Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace. Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Jobbers and Goons. And today, we have a video I kind of hit y'all with last second. It's actually a video that got purchased. And by the way, if you want to see your favorite characters or favorite places on the channel, and that is Jobber series, Goon series, or worst places to live, definitely hit me up on Discord and we can talk about purchasing. That's how this video came to you guys today. But this is a Goon video on the legend of Hell's Kitchen, the blind bandit Daredevil Matt Murdock. He is a beast lawyer by day, blindly beating the shit out of people at night. This is going to be an awesome video where I go over some of his funniest, strongest, best, surprising, and Goon moments that you'll find in his comics. If you love content like this, and if you want to see Daredevil return for a part 2, run this up to 600 likes, and I'll bring Daredevil back. So definitely do that if you're interested. And if you haven't subscribed already, definitely try to. And check out my second channel, Coffee Shop, where I have uploaded a couple videos today. One being a battle between Kit Fisto and Shakti in Star Wars. And then Lucifer versus Null, Marvel vs. DC. That's going to be uploaded today as well. So definitely check that channel out if you like versus battle and power scaling. But without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Shout out to Maverick for hitting us up and blessing us with the Daredevil bag. But yeah, if you're in the live chat, shout out W's to Maverick. We're going to start doing that for people that hook us up with great content. So W's for the boy Mav. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Without further ado, let's begin. So first moment we're going to talk about, I guarantee not a lot of people know about. So this is a wild-ass moment taken from, I believe, a Man-Thing comic where Man-Thing was investigating the nexus of all realities, where all realities are stacked, conjoined, all that. He's like the layer above, checking it out, right? Keep in mind this is all like the time-space is stacked up. Tell me why, at a meeting of all the infinite dimensions, Daredevil randomly comes swinging through. Like, yo, what up? Like, what y'all got going on down here? Yo, pass the blunt. Like, like he was chilling. He really came. I'm not even exaggerating. Check out the scan. Him and I believe Black Widow came literally fucking swinging through like it was a birthday party. And they were the strippers. That shit was weird, but it was also hilarious because I was like, bro, what? They have no business being where they were. Sorry, hairball. But they had no business being where they were. Like, that shit's too advanced for them. But regardless, you know the vibes. Daredevil swinging through if he has a chance. And he pulled up to a dimension above all realities, which is pure comedy. Now, next moment actually occurs courtesy of Deadpool. By the way, it hasn't been purchased yet or anything. But I feel like even if it doesn't get purchased, Deadpool's going to be inevitable for Goon videos. But getting back to this, Deadpool pulls up on him, right? He's like, yo, I don't know if I'm fighting the real Daredevil. Daredevil starts styling on him. And Deadpool's like to himself, like, oh shit, I think this is the real Deadpool or Daredevil because I'm low-key not doing shit now. And Wade started getting his ass beat by an irritated Daredevil because Deadpool pulled up on him and was like, it's nothing personal, just gotta get rid of you, all that shit. Daredevil's like, bro, get out of here. And starts putting hands on Deadpool. And Deadpool admits to himself, like, mid-fight, he's like, yo, straight up, I'm getting my ass beat. So, like, casually and off-guarded, Daredevil was still beating the shit out of Deadpool, who had the audacity to pull up and put a gun in his face. Don't do that shit on Daredevil's turf. That shit's dangerous. Next, we have a moment that, first of all, we got to acknowledge the OG Punisher. He will be coming back this week for the part 2, which will be Punisher Max part 1, technically, where I'm going to be strictly covering Punisher Max because it's one of the wildest series you'll ever see and has Goon moments every page. But getting back to this, we all know how Punisher is raw. He's a beast, confident as fuck, will beef with anybody, all that shit. Daredevil beat his ass at one point so bad, like nerve struck him so bad, rocked him so bad, that Punisher to himself was like, bro, how is someone as skilled as me, as decorated as me, as certified as me, how am I getting dogged so bad? Am I a fucking joke? Is my life a lie? Like, literally, Daredevil beat this man's ass so bad, he was questioning if he was a fluke, like if he was a flaw. Like, just imagine getting your ass beat that bad. But the craziest part is, again, this is the Punisher we're talking about. One of the most confident characters you'll ever see. But still, when Daredevil puts his hands on people with evil intent, shit gets treacherous real quick. Next, we have the time that he gets into it with Daredevil again, or Frank again, right? Punisher and Daredevil, of course, have had multiple crossover fights. And again, to be fair to Punisher's side, go check out the Punisher Part 1. He's had multiple W's on Daredevil as well. But anyways, Frank pulled up. He's like, yo, bitch, it's time for us to really run the ones. I'm not, like, scared of you at all. I'm not holding back at all. It's about to go town. And Daredevil was like, yo, it's cute that you think we're, like, really rivals if we're both serious, but we're really not, bitch. And he rocks the shit out of Frank. Just vibe check it. He's always throwing Frank off when he tells Frank he's going to stop holding back, or that he's been holding back this whole time. It really unnerves Frank, because he's like, oh shit, how dangerous really is Matt. So yeah, this time when he dropped the shit out of Frank for saying they scaled it, he wasn't holding back. Pure comedy. Next, this was a horrible moment for the mutant community. If you're watching the live premiere, F in the chat for Emma Frost and the mutants. This bitch is always jobbing. I'll probably have to make a jobber video on her one day. But getting back to this, there's a situation where Daredevil had to make some arrests, right? People were wilding out, taking shit too far. They had to get vibe checked. He's pulling up. Brawl ensues. Emma Frost is in the mix. Keep in mind, she's supposed to be like, mega level telepath, which would be planetary. One of the strongest mutant telepaths out there. At some point, supposedly rivaling Jean Grey. All this shit, right? Wild ass hype. Gets dropped. Gets folded. Gets fucking one-shotted by the dog himself, Daredevil. That's right, bitches. He pulled up immediately, hit her with the ricochet shot, and knocked her out. And he was like, yo, Emma, you're under arrest, bitch. And I was like, damn, you're going to let Daredevil pull up on you with his basically non-powered ass and just fold you like that? Horrible look for Emma Frost, but what's new? The bitch is a jobber. But yeah, I thought this moment was hilarious and a major W for Daredevil. Now, I'm not even going to lie to you guys. This next moment's rough and kind of messed up. Not the nicest, sweetest moment from everybody's favorite lawyer, Murdoch, but he had to do that shit. So, of course, you guys know, Daredevil gets out of pocket. He's known to be too much, to be irrational. Or, did I say Daredevil? I meant Bullseye. I'm tired, y'all, but W in the live premiere for me giving y'all so much content this weekend. But anyways, getting back to this, we have, and again, check out the coffee shop. We have him pulling up on Bullseye after Bullseye took it too far with Elektra. And if y'all don't know, Elektra is where Murdoch prefers to put his meat. You feel me? So, it is a no-go if you put her down, even though that bitch is evil sometimes. So, he pulls up on Bullseye. Beats the shit out of him. I'm talking about a World Star classic ass whooping. Takes him down and grabs a stone and is like, look, bitch, you like that symbol on your head? All this shit? You like what you did to Elektra? Alright, bet. I'll give you a reminder of Elektra, since you love it that much. Daredevil's crazy ass beat the shit out of Bullseye and then started carving into his skull with the rock to permanently scar him and traumatize him in the honor of Elektra. I mean, how based is that? Shout out to Daredevil really turning up when it's time to and making a statement. This was a messed up moment. This was crazy, but yeah, he he was not being nice to Bullseye in this instance. I mean, gave him a tattoo of the worst kind. But yeah, shout out to this moment with Daredevil where he really took it to the extreme. Now, some of these moments you'll come to find for Daredevil are actually up here because he clutches W's, especially in the classic era, that you don't expect. You're like, yo, I didn't know Daredevil was built like this. So, a classic example is him versus Sabretooth. Now, Sabretooth is a character that literally turns Wolverine into a meme, bullies him all the time. Pulled up on Daredevil. Daredevil was not having it. He's like, oh, you want to fight me, bitch? Like, you think I'm sweet? Like, literally looks at him. He's like, you think this shit's a game? Starts scrapping with Sabretooth. Sabretooth does manage to slash this girl that, this random bitch that Daredevil was trying to protect. But regardless, Daredevil pulled up on him and rocked his shit. Actually had him down for a bit. It was like, what the, like, bro, like, why are you so dumb? Like, why are you always pulling up on randoms doing that shit? Sabretooth's like, I don't know. He had like a broken jaw and shit. But yeah, Daredevil put hands on Sabretooth, which was stupid impressive. Next, this is a F in the chat. Live premiere. Hell of a, just spam F in the chat for Taskmaster. This bum. So, Daredevil's fighting Taskmaster, who's supposed to basically stolen, bit off the style of all the best fighters in Marvel, the strongest heroes, stole their tech too, like uses similar tech, uses styles, all this shit. He's supposed to be an advanced elite fighter. He also can copy anything he sees. So he pulls up on Daredevil. Daredevil's putting hands on him. He's like, okay, I got shit to do. I don't really feel like entertaining this fucking B-list bum anymore. Let me get him out of here real quick. Senses a car coming. Literally leads Taskmaster's dumbass into getting hit by a damn car. That's right. Daredevil danced and jumped and was like, yeah, catch me, bitch. And Taskmaster's like, oh, dude, you think you're so athletic? And he jumps and tries to mimic Daredevil and gets hit by a car. He's a bum. And Daredevil made sure to remind the readers of that. It was a hilarious moment. But yeah, literally took out Taskmaster by getting him hit by a car. So here is a legendary moment for Daredevil. He actually was caught off guard. Wasn't even in proper gear. It was raining out. It was dark. Regardless, he got pulled up on in the alley by over 100 Yakuza members. I believe it was 107. And some of them were gassed up, like literally roided out. They all had weapons, knives, swords, all that shit. Daredevil, or Murdoch at that point, beat the shit out of all of them. Not only did he beat the pulp out of them, he literally folded them within several minutes. Like, it didn't take him long. He was like, okay, let me go ahead and get these hoes out of here. And he didn't get caught. They actually emphasized, like, classic Murdoch. There's no witnesses. He doesn't get caught doing this shit, all that. Beats the shit out of over 100 Yakuza members and gets away with it. Runs off on the plug despite there being people watching the fight. Absolutely nuts. And it was a crazy, massive brawl that was dope in the comics and definitely built up hype for his character. Next, we have the time he got into it with Big Black Panther. So T'Challa was trying to get in the way of a Daredevil who was raging, right? Like, he's trying to put someone down. And as you can tell from prior showings in this video, when Daredevil wants to take you out, he's pretty hard to stop. So he's getting active, right? And Black Panther's like, chill. And Daredevil tells him, he's like, look, bro, get out the way. Puts hands on him a little bit, tries to get him out the way, keeps going. Black Panther's not having it. Comes back, he's like, nah, bro, I gotta stop you. I can't let you do all this shit. Daredevil's like, bro, I told you, get out the way, bitch. Knees the shit out of Black Panther. Actually does get him out the way. He didn't even want to fight Panther. Panther just kept getting in his way, and he still actually got the upper hand on him. I think the fact that he was actually casually getting the better of Black Panther's a Goon moment, because he was just trying to get him out the way so he could run a fade, which is crazy. But yeah, he actually did somewhat get the better of Black Panther in that exchange, which is hilarious. This moment next, of course, involves everybody's favorite Goon jobber hybrid Wolverine. So Wolverine runs up, it might have been the Gorgon story, I'm not sure, but runs up on Daredevil. Daredevil and him get the scrapping, right? Daredevil's like, oh shit, Wolverine's trying to put me down. They go back and forth. Eventually, he rocks the shit out of Wolverine with like a weight, knocks him back. He falls over. Of course, his dumbass falls on a broken blade and gets impaled. What was hilarious was Daredevil thought he accidentally t-shirted Wolverine. He's like, oh shit, not gonna lie, Wolverine, He looked kind of trash. Looked like, you know, maybe he wasn't all there. So Daredevil was legit worried he killed him, but Wolverine's like, nah, I'll come back from this. That shit hurt, though. But yeah, he beat the shit out of Wolverine and then thought he accidentally killed him, which was hilarious. Next, we have the time Daredevil pulled up on Black Panther. Specifically, this version with T'Challa. Now, I know what you guys are... Or, Shuri, right? It wasn't T'Challa. So, I know what you guys are thinking. Daredevil would fight a girl? Absolutely. Does that shit all the time. One of the greatest advocates for gender equality in comics. So, Daredevil pulls up. He's like, look, yo. Wakanda's been selling shit on the sly. Like, y'all been moving weight, selling weapons to people we don't fuck with. I can't let that happen. Shuri's like, yo, you're not going to check us on our turf. That's not how that works. Daredevil was like, I definitely fucking will, bitch. And they get to fighting. Tell me why on her turf she got beat up by Daredevil. Shout out to Daredevil. If he wants to make the arrest or do some narc type shit, he's going to get the W, as you've seen multiple times in this video. And yeah, he was like, y'all going to stop selling that shit or I'm going to come back and beat up your leader again. But yeah, he pulled up on Black Panther and dusted her on her own turf. Next, this is probably one of the rawest moments in the video. By the way, let me know in the comment section down below what your favorite Daredevil moment was from this video and which one you want to see in part 2. So, Daredevil gets into it with Frank, right? Frank gets popped and is walking away. Daredevil now has guns in his possession. This is crazy because Daredevil's not the one to kill, not the one to shoot, usually beats people up, all this shit. Daredevil doesn't shoot him though, or yeah, he doesn't really shoot him yet. And he goes, yo, Frank, I know you think you're raw, right? Like, I know you think you're the best at what you do, but he was like, let me tell you something. If I really wanted to fuck people up, if I really wanted to be like you, it would not even be close. And he walks him down. Punisher's looking terrified, and he goes, yo, bitch, if I wanted to, it's not even close. Sure, you're a demon, but I'm the devil. Stupid bitch. And I was like, damn, one of the coldest bars you'll see. Shout out to Havoc for reminding me of this moment. But yeah, walk down and terrified, Punisher dropping bars on him. Definitely had to mention it. Last moment for the video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching up to this point. This is an exchange he has with one of the top martial artists in existence. So, Daredevil comes back to town, right? And he's like, yo, let me get back in my groove. Let me get back in my bag. You know, let me suit up, run the streets for a bit. I'm a Hell's Kitchen icon. All this. So, he's running around, doing his thing. Runs into someone that looks exactly like him. So, of course, Daredevil's not going for that shit. He's like, yo, cut that whack shit out. You can't be me, bitch. They start fighting. He's like, yo, this dude's pretty good. He's like, matter of fact, he's trying to copy me, look like me, while also using his own style. He's skilled as shit, but he's like, yo, he's not cashing out on that Billy Club, though. He's dumb as fuck for that. So Daredevil starts rocking in with the Billy Club and starts dancing on him like that. And eventually, Iron Fist is revealed because he was starting to use chi. And Daredevil's like, oh shit, that's Iron Fist. And they stop fighting. But yeah, he was actually wearing out Iron Fist to the point he had to use his chi, which stopped the fight. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm going to try to get Wolverine jobbing out tonight. If not, it will drop tomorrow. And Noel versus Lucifer is up on the coffee shop, so go check it out. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I will see y'all later. Peace.